On average, each American consumes more than 100 rolls of toilet paper per year, a statistic that alone amply explains the billion-dollar revenues of this industry globally, reaching a staggering $100 billion. But how is toilet paper produced? The process begins with wood harvesting, carried out by specialized machines called timber harvesters. These machines, weighing 18 tons, are extremely versatile in handling timber in forests. They can felling, stripping, and sawing logs with such efficiency that the entire process takes less than a minute. Importantly, the wood used for toilet paper comes from lower quality trees, such as crooked or defective logs, while better quality wood is reserved for furniture production. Once felled, thousands of logs are transported to a plant where processing into pulp, the raw material for both paper and toilet paper, will begin. Before this step, however, the wood must be reduced to wood chips by a machine called a chipper, a large process that begins by cutting the wood into uniform pieces. These then go through a system that removes the bark, maximizing the amount of useful wood. Next, the wood is washed to remove stones and sand and controlled by metal detectors to prevent nails or screws from damaging downstream machinery. Rotating blades then further reduce the wood into small pieces, which are finally stored in large quantities. These fragments then undergo a chemical process in huge industrial tanks to be turned into pulp. During this cooking, which can last up to 3 hours, most of the moisture is evaporated. This process produces a usable fiber called pulp. Another material used in toilet paper production is recycled paper, but this requires a different sorting and cleaning process to remove impurities and unsuitable materials. Once obtained, the pulp, both wood-derived and recycled, is ready to be made into paper. This takes place in paper-making machines, 120-meter-long structures that accomplish the process in 4 main steps. The prepared pulp is poured onto a belt or net, where the water is drained away, leaving a layer of fiber. This wet sheet then passes through rollers that further extract the water, increasing its density. It is then dried with heated rollers that evaporate the remaining water, resulting in a continuous sheet of paper. This sheet, although nearly complete, has creases that are removed with the use of ironing rollers built into the machine. Amazingly, this entire process takes only 7 seconds in real time. The finished paper is then wrapped around a hairdryer and then wrinkled, giving it that typical softness and slightly wrinkled appearance, before being made into rolls of toilet paper in a dedicated machine. Paper companies often maintain their own plots of trees to ensure the quality of the finished product, while also carefully monitoring the chemicals used in the pulp production process. The paper produced is tested for several characteristics such as elasticity, opacity, moisture content, smoothness, and color. You'll be surprised to learn that the complexity of this process is considered even more environmentally friendly than the exclusive use of wood to obtain pulp. The machine that washes the recycled paper turns it into pulp by going through as many as 14 stages until the fiber can be reused to make new paper. Although this may seem like a laborious process, it is important to remember that it turns out to be more environmentally sustainable. The process continues with the paper machine, a massive 120-meter-long structure that turns pulp into solid paper through 4 basic steps. The prepared pulp is spread over a large screen or belt called a forming cloth, where water seeps through, leaving a layer of woven fibers on top. As the pulp mixture progresses, the water drains away, facilitated by vacuum boxes and other drainage features that help control the consistency of the pulp and the thickness of the paper sheet. Next, the wet sheet of paper passes through a series of press rollers that further extract the water, increasing the density of the paper. This press sheet, now referred to as the wet web, still contains a significant amount of water and is guided through a series of heated rollers or drying section to remove the remaining water. The heat evaporates the water from the wet web, leaving behind a continuous dry sheet of paper. The paper sheet, which is still not completely finished because it has creases, is smoothed with the help of ironing rollers built into the paper machine. This complex process surprisingly takes only 7 seconds in real time. The finished paper is then wrapped around a drying cylinder called a Yankee dryer and then crimped, a treatment that makes it extremely soft and gives it a slightly curled appearance. During crimping, the paper is scraped from the dryer cylinder with a metal blade, making the sheets flexible but reducing their strength and thickness so that they easily disintegrate when wet. The paper, produced at speeds exceeding 1 mile per minute, is then wound onto jumbo reels that can weigh up to 5 tons. But how does one turn a sheet of paper into toilet paper? This takes place inside a machine called a toilet paper rolling machine. Although it is not as large as the paper machine at 80 meters long, it is still an impressive piece of equipment that produces about 500,000 rolls per day. Several jumbo reels of paper are unrolled simultaneously so that their sheets overlap. The paper layer depends on whether the toilet paper is intended to be triple or double thick. Next, different patterns are printed on the paper depending on the brand, and microscopic embossing follows, giving the toilet paper its characteristic dotted texture. This process not only gives more volume to the toilet paper, but also makes it soft and comfortable for the consumer. Finally, the paper is rolled onto cardboard rolls that are slightly larger than we are used to seeing, and then cut into smaller rolls of various sizes, depending on specific market needs such as standard toilet paper roll sizes or kitchen rolls. Manufacturing companies often maintain their own forests to ensure the quality of the paper produced, and the chemicals used in the pulping process are carefully tested and monitored. The temperatures at which the pulp is cooked are also scrupulously controlled through the use of pressure gauges. Machines, processes, and finished paper can be tested to evaluate various characteristics, including elasticity, opacity, moisture content, smoothness, and color. Thank you for following us to the end. We hope you enjoyed the content and that it added value to your day. If so, don't forget to leave us a like. It's a small gesture for you, but it means so much to us. And if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss upcoming videos. Your participation is crucial to the growth of our community. Share the video with your friends and also follow us on our social media to stay up to date. Remember, your every feedback is gold to us, so write us in the comments what you think and what you would like to see in the next video. Thanks again for being part of our big YouTube family. Until next time.